Why making the decision whether to buy a house or to build a house can be very daunting. In this video, we're going to look at the pros and cons of buying a house and building a house. Hopefully, at the end of this video, you'll be able to make informed decision. And I will urge you to watch this video to the end, because at the end of this video, I'm going to tell you what I would do if I'm to choose and why I would do what I would do. Okay, so let's just dive straight into it, starting from the pros of building your own house. Starting with the pros of building your own house, the first pro is the power of customization. You have the power to customize this building however you want it. You just talk to your architect, you bring your dream to life, you tell the architect what you want, and then it's just as if he's with a pen, but you're the one directing him on what to draw. Okay, everything you have, how you want your kitchen to be, how you want your bedroom to be, how you want your master's bedroom to be, like however, like just the dream, the imagination you have in your head, you have the power to bring it to reality. That is one of the pros, like the power to customize it. Like, oh my God, someone like me, I just love the fact that I can bring my dream, like my imagination, to reality. I don't have to just settle for whatever someone else has done. I have the power to construct this thing, to build something, to make something from nothing, just from scratch. Like, guys, that is one pro that I can never underlook. Like, it's so important to me, that power of customization, the power to be able to make the choices, to know, okay, this is what I want, this is how I want it, like bringing what I have in my head to reality. That is a powerful pro for me. Okay, so that is one thing, one advantage. And then the second one is location. The power to choose where your building will be. Where do you want your building to be? Where, which area? Like, you have the power to choose. Tell someone, your agent, your realtor, oh, I need a piece of land in so place. Like, you have the power to choose where your building will be, where the whole structure will be. That is the second pro. The first one is the power to customize, the power to create this thing exactly how it is in your mind, bring this imagination to reality. Then the second one is the power to choose the location, where the location of this your building, this your dream house will be. Oh my God, like, the second one is time. Oh my God, at the time you are not constrained with time. Okay, you are not under any pressure when it comes to building your own house. You can decide how long it's going to take you to build a house. You can build from foundation to DPC or to lintel, and then you decide that, oh, I need to take a break, let me go and keep hustling. Like, there's no pressure to finish at a certain time, or there's no interest. Like, oh, you don't have the money to continue the building, and then someone will tell you that there's an interest. No, you are not accumulating any interest. Okay, so you have time. There's limit. You have limitless time when it comes to building. It can take you 1 year, 2 years. It's your choice. Okay, so you are not under any pressure when it comes to building your own house. You can decide, like, okay, at this stage I'll take a break and then come back later. So that is one advantage. Okay, that's one advantage of building your own house. Then the fourth one is involvement in the process of this building. If you are like me, oh my God, I love to be involved. I want to be involved. I want to know. You have the power to choose who your architect will be, who your artisans will be, who the engineer will be, who the workers will be. You have the power, and you are involved in every single stage. You know the quality of the materials they are using, you know the quantity, the whole process. You are involved. Like, guys, building your own house will teach you a lot of lessons. You will learn patience, you will learn tolerance, you will learn how to deal with people. Like, it's just a lot of learning. Like, the building the house is not just about building. Like, the journey is a journey, the process, you being involved from stage one to the final stage, from acquiring the land, starting the survey, everything. Oh my God, like, it's a process, and you get to be involved. You get to be part of the building process. You get to know exactly what is happening, the materials, the quality of the materials, everything. Every single thing, and it's just a fulfilling feeling for someone like me, because when I see the house, I'm like, yes, I know exactly what is here. I know the type of rod I use for this building. Like, I can attest to every single thing because I was involved from beginning to the end. So yeah, building your own house gives you the ability to be involved in the building process. you get to learn, you get to know more about yourself. Honestly, you will know a lot about yourself when you're building, because dealing with different people will test you. Okay, so yeah, that's another advantage. Like, you get to be involved in the building process. Okay, another thing which is also tied to this, the fourth one, is you being emotionally attached. Okay, you, if you're like me, you know, like, once this is your baby, right, you are kind of emotionally attached to this thing, because it gives this fulfillment of having a dream, having an imagination of how you want, you know, having a dream house, and then seeing it come to reality, bringing it to reality. Is so fulfilling, and there's an emotion, like, you just feel connected, you know, connected to this building in just like in another way entirely that I can't just explain. Like, building your own house, it affords you, like, it's just like a baby. Like, you see this house, like, this is my own, like, this is literally my own. I brought this up from the ground up. Okay, so that's another advantage. All right, another advantage or another pro of building your own house is less maintenance after building. Okay, less maintenance after building. After building this house, you don't have to come and start doing a whole lot of renovation, because you crafted this, like, you drew this, the plan, everything, you know what you want. Okay, and you did exactly what you want on that piece of land. So after building, you don't have to come and start spending another amount of money for renovation. Okay, it's very rare for you to see that after building the house completely, you come and start doing renovation. If there's any renovation that needs to be done, it's in the process of building. Maybe in the process of building the house, you tell your engineer, I don't think I like this way again, let me change. Like, everything happens in the process of building. You understand? So after building, you don't spend much money again in renovating. It's just there, like, it's just, everything is there exactly how you want it. Okay, yeah, that's another advantage. Then another pro of building your own house is packing in, even when the house is not fully completed. That is the practical completion stage of the house. Let's say you've not painted the house, you've not done all the wiring, even you've not done the whole kitchen cabinet, everything. You can literally pack into the house, so long as you are not affected by the weather, by sun or rain. You can literally pack into the house, so long as it's safe. Okay, the window is covered, the roof is covered, the doors are covered. You can literally pack into the house and start, you know, continue with the building while you're already living in the house. Okay, that is another advantage. Like, even if you get to a stage and you be like, okay, I don't have the money to continue now, you can just pack in once the building is practically completed. Practically completed means, like, you can start living in it. Like, most of the things that you need in the house are already there. You know, most of the things that will make the house safe to live in are already completed. Okay, that's the practical completion stage. So once you pack in, you can continue with the building. Some people can pack into their house without even plastering the outside. Maybe they just plaster inside, they do some things inside, and then once you pack in, you can be doing the work while inside the house. So you're not paying rent again. Now, money for you to pay the rent while you're living in your own house, you can be using that money to complete your own house. So those are the pros of building your own house. One, you have the power of customization. Two, you have the power to choose where the location of your building will be. Three, you are involved in the building process, every single thing. You have the power to choose who your engineer will be, who your architect will be, who the workers will be, and you know the quality of materials used for your building. Okay, and then another thing is the emotional attachment, like having a dream having a dream and bringing the dream to reality. Oh my God, like, you have a good emotional attachment to this building, because you know, I created this, you know, I made this myself. Okay, then another thing is less maintenance after building. Okay, you're not doing a whole lot of renovation after building your own house. And then the practical completion stage, which means you can pack into the house while you continue with the building. Okay, now let's go to the cons. The cons of building your own house. Number one con is acquisition of land. Oh my God, guys, here in Nigeria, see, if you don't have patience, if you don't have, like, you just have to know yourself before you start purchasing land here in Nigeria, because purchasing land is a lot of risk here in Nigeria. You don't know the originality of the land, a lot of land scam, and then the paperwork, the documentation, getting the right papers. Oh my God, once you get to the office, They will tell, if you no rub person back, you know, go your land process go dey there for months just to get the documents for your land, to get all the papers complete, to do your due diligence. Everything might take you 6 months. Might take you 6 months just to make sure the acquisition, everything, all your papers, you are doing your due diligence correctly. Might take you up to 6 months. Some people even abandon their land because of the whole land litigation. Everything is just a lot of headache. Okay, if you want to buy properties here in Delta State, oh my God, if you know, you know, buying properties here in Delta State is at your own risk. So that is why you need a very good agent to take you through this process, and that is where I recommend an agent who knows. I've been working with agents who knows for years, and guys, I can tell you for a fact that he's really genuine. Agent who knows is that agent that will tell you if he's not sure of this property, he will literally force you not to buy it. He will tell you not to buy it. Okay, so if you want to buy properties, you want to rent apartments, you want to buy land, you want to buy a house here in Delta State, contact agent who knows. His phone numbers will always be in the description box and in the pinned comments. Let him know you came from Mewerium on YouTube. You might have some discount. Okay, so now let's go back into the video. So land acquisition is one stress that when considering building your own house, you consider the process of buying the land. Is like, am I really ready for this? Can I really handle this? You know, so it's a lot of headache acquiring land here in Nigeria. Like, it's a lot of headache. You have to go through a lot, like, to make sure that you are buying from the rightful owners, and then the papers. It's just a lot. Okay, so, and then the second one is the location. The location of the building. If you are building your own house, let's say you buy from a random place, you can't really know because once you're buying land, you're buying property, you're not only buying that particular piece of land, you're buying the location. You understand? Location is everything when it comes to buying properties. And then when you buy certain properties and you want to build on your own, you can't really tell who your next neighbor will be. You understand? If you're building, you don't know. Let's take this environment now. This field that I am in now, I decided to buy a portion of this land, and then I start building. I can't tell who the next person that will buy the other part of the land will be. I can't tell who my next neighbor will be. You know, I can't, let's say I have kids, I can't tell who my kids will be friends with. Okay, and then the development, I don't know how in the next 2 to 3 years the value, if this place will appreciate in value. How am I sure that this place will appreciate in value in the next 3-4 years? What are the facilities that will come into this place? What will the government do around this area? How will I know? You understand? So once you buy the location, and you know, when we talk about the pros, right? You have the power to choose where the location will be. And then talking about the cons, you have the power to choose where the location will be, but you don't have the power to decide who your neighbor will be. You don't have the power to decide how far the place will develop, the value of that land in the next 4 to 5 years. You understand? So that's another con of building your own house. Like, it's just like, especially if you are you don't want to be the let's say you build a mansion here now, and every other person coming, they are building small. You'll be at risk. You understand? Your house will be the only one that people will be like you understand? So that is another thing. So the location, you don't know who your neighbor will be. You don't know how the value of that place, if it will appreciate in value, and how long it will take to appreciate in value. Another thing is professionals, choosing the artisans, the people that work for you, the engineers. It's a lot of headache, guys. I don't know if I'm screaming. I'm telling you. See, if you go to sites, if you're working with some artisans, some engineers, some workers on your site, if you don't have patience, if you don't have tolerance, they will make you go crazy. They will make you go crazy. You might work with an engineer to a certain stage, and then you see that you guys are, even if they know what they are doing, but the communication, they are not communicating anything to you in a way that if you ask, like, it's a lot. Sometimes you just want to cut them off and start looking for another set of workers again. And that is where Engineer Ewere comes in. You guys have heard me talk about Engineer Ewere multiple times on this channel, and that's not only because he's really good at his job, but also because he's a very genuine and straightforward person. I've been working with Engineer Ewere for years, and I've had clients testify of how good and genuine he is. Okay, Engineer Ewere is not one of those engineers that will steal your materials when they are going to ease themselves. No. Okay, so book Engineer Ewere if you want to build and have peace of mind here in Nigeria, and especially here in Delta State. If you're in Delta State and you're not booking Engineer Ewere, I don't know what to tell you, okay? Book Engineer Ewere. His phone numbers will always be on the screen, also in the description box. Contact him and have peace of mind while building here in Delta State or anywhere in Nigeria, okay? Now let's go back into the video. Like, getting professionals for your job to get the job done is a lot of headache, is a lot of stress. Every day, as I'm talking to you, there's no day I go to site I don't shout. You guys may not see it on camera, but there's no day I go to site, there's no quarrel on site. It's like some people will just want to misuse your building materials. You'll be throwing the bamboo anyhow. No, you don't throw the bamboo anyhow. Someone paid for this. Because you're not the person that paid for it doesn't mean you should waste it. Like, and then they are trying to give you your own reason. They are if you don't know how to handle people, please just overlook the aspect of building your own house. It's a lot of stress, okay? Choosing professionals, the right professionals, and dealing with professionals, workers for the building is a big factor. Another con is no time frame. You remember when we're talking about the pros of building your own house? We talk about you having limitless time to complete your building. If you say, oh, I want to build this house in the next 1 year, 2 years, nobody is coming to beat you that, and nobody is giving you interest. You can decide to get to DPC and stop. You can decide to get to lintel and stop. But when dealing with these workers, when you're dealing with all these artisans, different workers, people working for you, you don't have time frame to finish. Even if you say this building is going to take me 3 months to build or 6 months to complete, these workers, they will have a way of doing their own thing. They might not come to work, and something that will take them 1 day, they will literally spend 3 days on that job. You are looking at this job, you know that if these people are serious, like seriously serious, they want to do this job, literally they can take 1 day, it can take them just 1 day to finish this work. But because they want money, they want to waste your time, they want it to seem as if they are doing one huge work, they will take days. Sometimes they will not even come. You start looking for new people afresh. I don't feel come. Oh, this is just a lot. So you don't have exact time frame to finish your building. Even if you tell yourself, I'm going to finish this building in 6 months, factor in the workers. These people have a way of wasting your time. I'm telling you out of experience, they just have a way of doing it. Me, I'm seeing this thing. Sometimes I'm like, but this thing you guys are doing, this time you're using to talk, using to sit down, using to do, like, you don't reach now do this work finish, but you know what, sometimes you just overlook, you just like, you know what, I don't have the strength for shouts today. So yeah, that's one of the cons of building your own house, because you don't have time frame. Even if you say it's going to take you 6 months, it's definitely going to take you more than 6 months, because these workers have a way of wasting someone's time. Another con of building your own house is not sticking to budgets. There's no way you can stick to budgets when you're building your own house. Okay, let me tell you that I can tell you that for free. Even if your quantity surveyor tells you it's going to cost you 100 million naira to complete this building, budget 150. I'm not exaggerating, because building materials is like a roller coaster here in Nigeria. You know, wave current, it goes up and down, up and down, up and down. That is how it moves. So when you're building your own house here, you can't stick to budget here in Nigeria, okay? Because building materials, the price is always going up and down, going up and down. Maybe you started the building in January, before March, prices have changed. So that your 50 million naira cannot be 50 million naira again. So yeah, that is it. So you can never stick to budget when building your own house. So that is one of the pros of building your own house, okay? Another pro of building your own house is locking up your capital. Let's say now, you remember when we're talking about the cons, you can decide when you get to DPC or to the lintel level, you decide to like leave the house, go and continue with your hustling. Once you get the money again, you come and continue with the building. But let's say it took you 20 million naira to get that building to the lintel level. Do you know that that is 20 million naira sitting down there without bringing in interest, without making you any profit? Like, you just locked up a huge amount of money there, sitting down there, okay? So yeah, building your own house has a way of locking up your capital, especially if you don't have the money to just continue and finish at the same speed, okay? Like if you're taking breaks here and there, it's just a lot, because a lot of money will be there locked up a lot of money. If you use that money to go and start up business or invest in something, definitely in 3 months you will have a good return on investment, right? But you building and stopping, getting to, because there is no time limit, you can decide and stop and continue, but then you're locking up your capital. So yeah, those are the cons of building your own house. The land acquisition is a lot of headache. The location, you don't know who your neighbors will be. The professionals is a lot of headache, getting good professionals. The time frame, like you can't really say how long it will take you to build a house, because you're going to factor in the workers, and then you can never stick to budget. You can never stick to budget when building your own house, and then you're locking up a lot of capital, especially if you're building and taking breaks here and there. Okay, so those are the pros and the cons of building your own house. Now let's move over to the pros of buying a house. Number one pro of buying a house is land acquisition. Oh my God, let me tell you, remember when we talked about the cons of buying your own house? We talk about land acquisition. Yes, when you buy your own house, when you buy from all these developers, right, they've literally, all these developers have taken all the headaches of acquiring this land away from you. All you have to do is sign the paperwork. You can decide to do a little bit of due diligence, a little bit of verifications here and there, but it's nothing compared to acquiring your own land. Okay, so yeah, that is number one pro of buying a house, because all the headaches of land acquisition, you are not afraid of scam and everything, because the developer you're buying from has already gone through all the stress for you. Okay, so that is number one pro. The second one is professionals. You don't have to deal with the professionals when buying your own house. Literally, they've built this house already, so you don't have to know who the workers are. You don't have to go through that headache of working with people, quarreling every day, change. No, you don't have to deal with that. So getting professionals for your building has already been sorted, because these developers have gone through all of that. They've done the search, they know the workers they use. Okay, so yeah, that is the second pro of buying a house. Then the third one is location. This is one thing I like about buying a house, because you literally can look at the environment and know that, okay, you can literally have an idea of who your neighbors will be. Like, I mean, you can't say exactly, but you know the price, you know the category of people that can live in certain area. You understand? So you can have an idea of who your neighbors will be, the security aspect of things, like you and even how the land or the property you're buying will appreciate in value in due time. You understand? Let's say you're buying for sale, you know that, okay, looking at the environment, you know that in the next 4 or 5 years, this is how much I'm expecting to get on return on this investment, right? So yeah, looking at the location, you can literally tell, like, you buying the property, you're not only buying the property, you're buying the environment, you're buying the location, you're buying your neighbors. You understand? You're buying your neighbors. So that's number one, another pro of buying your house, because you can literally, just looking at the environment, know that, okay, this is what I'm buying, this is what I'm getting into. All right. And then emotional attachment. There's this emotional attachment of, I want something, I got it. Okay, when you buy a house, they just give you that key. Ta-da-da! I just need the key to just show you guys. You buy the house, and then you complete all the documentation, all the paperwork are done, you've signed, you've paid, and then they hand over the keys to you. Oh my God, there's this emotional satisfaction you get. It's like, oh, finally, I want this, I got it. Okay, so yeah, that is it. That is another pro of buying a house. Another pro of buying your own house is the time. You can literally buy a house today and pack in today. Do you know that? Yeah, exactly, because you don't have to like wait for months. Like the buying process, if you're buying a house, literally within a month you should be done with everything. That is if you are trying to do a lot of searching, right? Within a month, everything should be done and dusted. You can pack into your house within a month. Like the day you finish buying, you completed everything, you can literally pack into the house that very day. So there's the time, like when they say this is the time, okay? So you don't have to, there's no wave in the time saying like you're dealing with artisans, you are dealing with different people. No, once you're done with paying, you can pack in immediately. Okay, then the model of the house, right? When when you're building your own house, you can't really be, this is a vision you have in your head, you gave it to your you gave it to your architect drew it. Now you don't know exactly how this thing will be, you're just imagining it, right? And then, but when it comes to buying your own house, you can literally look at your neighbor's house and know that, okay, this is what I'm expecting, right? You can even take a tour. If the developers can give you a tour of the house to show you. Now you get to feel and, you know, see what your own house will be like when you eventually pay or when you eventually buy it. So yeah, those are the pros of buying your own house. Now let's look at the cons of buying a house. The first con of buying a house is that you don't have the power of customization. You cannot customize this house to your own taste. You can't customize it to your own taste. You just have to go with the model of the estate. So yeah, that power is taken away from you. Okay, that is the number one. The second thing is search. Even if we say it's time, you can just pay today and pack in today. It's not exactly like that. It can take you months to search for the dream house. The searching can take you months to get. Okay, so searching for the right house, the right price, so many things, so many factors you're putting into consideration to get exactly or almost exactly what you want for the price you have is a lot. It takes a lot of time. So the search, the back and forth, and it's just a lot when it comes to searching for the dream house to buy. Okay, then the hidden issues. Once you buy the house, that is when you see that there are some parts inside the house that are leaking. There are some things that are leaking. Literally the POP can fall the next day because they did not use quality materials. It's like a lot of things, a lot of maintenance, and then you see people, you can buy a house and start renovating, start doing this, start doing that. Is just a lot. So buying a house comes with a lot of hidden expenses that may not be on paper. You might not see it on paper. Then after buying, that's when you start seeing things that need to be handled, and it's just like a lot of headache. Okay, then the quality of materials. You cannot tell the quality of materials used for the building. You can't tell the quality of the road they use for the building because you're no longer seeing it, right? So you can't really tell the quality of materials they use for the building. So if they did not use quality materials, that is a lot of risk on your side. So yeah, then another thing is the inherited problems. Any problem that is happening, any problem that the estate face, you're going to face it. Any problem that your neighbor is going through, you're going through it, right? If they have bad water, you have bad water. If there is no light, you will not have light. Like every problem, you just inherit the problem of the estate once you buy any property from that particular estate. Any estate you buy property from, you just automatically inherit the problems of this estate, right? So that is it, just inherit things. You don't have like a separate, you can't deal with yourself separately. You're doing everything generally. So those are the cons of buying your own house. Okay, now what would I do if I'm to make a choice? Would I buy or would I build? I personally, depending on the stage I'm in life, let's say I have kids and I want to live in this place, live here, right? I want to live in this particular house I'm going for. I will build my own. I will build my own because I want to have a touch. I want to have my personality in this house. I want to see that I built this myself. Personally, I love big kitchen. I love my rooms wide. I'm very old school like that. I love everything wide, right? So I don't think there is any developer that will give me exactly what I want. There's no developer that will give me the kind of wide kitchen. In fact, the kind of kitchen I like, I can host parties in my kitchen. So literally, and I know how I want my room to look. Even my closet can contain a full party. So I just love my house a certain way, and I know that no developer will give me that kind of, except the amounts, they will be very, very huge. So I will build if this place is where I want to live personally with my kids, with everything. But if I'm doing it for business, let's say I'm buying and I'm doing it, I want to buy it and put it on rent, and I know I don't really have the time to build, right? I don't really have the time to because building takes a lot of time, a lot of mental stress. Yes, a lot of mental stress, because you deal with people every day, you deal with money, the inflation, everything is just a lot of mental stress when it comes to building. Now, if I know that I don't really have the time to build, and I don't have the mental stress. I might have the time, but I don't have the mental stress at the moment to deal with all these artisans. I will just buy, because it's for business. I will rent it out or even sell it out in due time. I will buy, right? I will buy, but when I'm buying, I will make sure I buy from a good developer that I know that they use quality material, because my head is all about the quality. Like, I don't want to be sleeping and be thinking of the building I'm living under or my tenants are living in. I don't want anybody to call me and say this. No. So I will do my research, make sure I buy from a good developer that I know that I might even ask them to show me the materials they use, show me the process you go through. Is it the developer that will use 1 bag of cement to produce 66 blocks? You understand? So yeah, I will make sure I go through all of that, look at the quality of materials they use before I eventually buy. But personally, I just love to build. And you remember that I did not talk about the costs. People will say that it's cheaper to build than to buy, but personally, I think it's not cheaper to build than to buy. If you ask me, in my opinion, I don't think it's cheaper to build, because let's leave the money aspect. Are you putting time into consideration? If you are equating time with money, you know that it's a lot of money you're allowing. The time you're looking at the building, talking to the artisan, all the headaches, everything, the emotional stress, the mental stress. It's just a lot that goes into building your own house that, to me, is not cheaper. It's not cheaper to build, right? So yeah, that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, please let me know in the comment section. What would you do? Would you buy or would you build your own? Let me know in the comment section. If you love videos like this, let me know in the comment section which other video would you like me to do, talking about stuff like this. And if you have any dilemma, I keep saying it, send your dilemma to the email showing on the screen, okay? And yeah, we'll talk about it. I'll make a video of it, and then you can get help from maybe people in the comment section. And yeah, so yeah, I love you guys. Please subscribe to this channel. It's absolutely free. Like the video so that more people can see it, and share with your friends, your family members, anyone at all you know will find this video helpful. Please help me share with them. I love you guys so much, and Jesus loves you, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye. Peace out.